What is good, money team? Tensadome here. Today we got a reaction video, and what we're gonna be reacting to is 15 things you should know when starting a business. So if you're trying to start a business out there, these are gonna be the things you need to know to grow it, or at least to start it. What you should know when starting. Let me say that. Shout out to Alex for the video. Really like the content. Go sub to them if you're not. Very a lot of good content, a lot of good output. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you know when I upload. And let's get into the video.
Let's just get this out of the way right off the hop.
All right.
Starting a business is not for everyone.
It's really
Some
not.
people possess a particular set of traits that just fit better with the entrepreneurial template. You can be happy and successful by working for someone else. It all depends on who you are as a person.
Yup.
If you believe you're destined to be an entrepreneur and looking to start a business, this video will help you figure out both a game plan and double check your existing beliefs.
Game plan is key though, I'm not
When
gonna
people
lie.
talk about this stuff, they usually avoid the hard to swallow truths, right? So we structured this so that it's perfect for everyone who's in the beginning stages of their company, but we're not giving you any false hope here. With that said, here are 15 things you should know when starting a business. Welcome to Alux, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Number 1, talk is cheap.
Very.
Nobody cares about what you're planning to do until you do it. We get hundreds of emails from people who say they plan on launching a company. But how many do you think actually did anything about it? Actually, we can answer that. 1 in 60. For every 60 people that say they're planning on starting a business, only one actually does it. The rest just talk about something they never end up doing. Most people will find excuses, saying it's not the right time for whatever reason they find, but the result is always the same. The world doesn't care about what you plan on doing. The world doesn't run on wishful thinking.
People rather
Talk is
complain than
cheap,
go hard
okay?
work.
Let your work speak for you.
Just always let your work speak for yourself.
Number 2, an idea isn't worth anything before it yields results. An idea is worth $1 million only after it makes $1 million.
Yeah.
Newsflash, Alexer, ideas are free. Everyone has ideas.
So I registered my LLC. Now what? Now Taylor Brands takes
No.
you step by step on your business journey. But what is Taylor?
No,
of
you
them
skipped
actually,
that.
and they're
That's
not
you.
very
Now you
special.
skipped that.
Talk to anyone around you and they'll immediately bring up 5 ideas or businesses or projects. But as we've mentioned in the previous point, since everyone has multiple ideas, there's an abundance of them. Most of them are actually pretty good ideas, but that doesn't mean that they're worth anything. Ideas
Right.
are worthless unless they're paired with the right execution.
The right execution is key,
Let
for
me
sure.
just put it this way. A good idea with poor execution not only will not yield any positive results, it'll end up consuming resources and time. Meanwhile, a mediocre idea with a great execution will become a viable business. It's very rare that good ideas and great execution meet, and they almost never happen. You start off with a simple idea which over time could evolve into a good one, but execution is everything.
Execution
Just because
is
an idea
literally
sounds
everything.
great to you doesn't mean the world will think so as well. We recommend that you find unbiased opinions. Don't listen to your friends and family because they care about you and they'll sing your praises. If you want real feedback on your ideas, ask people to front you the money. You'll
Yup.
find out everybody says that an idea is good until they have to put their money where their
Yo,
mouth
get some
is.
bread, bro.
Don't be protective of your idea. It's not that special. It all depends on your ability to execute.
Yeah.
Also, you don't need a revolutionary idea to get rich either.
You don't.
You
I'm
don't
telling
have
you.
to reinvent sliced bread to have a successful bakery. Facebook wasn't the first social network, and delivering food is not revolutionary. You just need to execute it better than your competitors.
So that's all it's ever been.
Number 3, nobody cares about your business more than you do.
And no one ever will.
They never will. You
Thank
might
you.
inspire people to join your cause, but nobody will ever want this business to succeed as much as you do.
Or you should.
This is something
Or you
really
should.
important to consider in these
Some
very
people
early
don't
stages,
care as much. I don't know
especially
why,
if the
but
business has multiple founders. If you partner with other people, every single one of these members needs to want it as badly as
Like,
you
really
do.
want it, but I'm telling
Many
you, really
times,
want it.
we see best friends teaming up in order to start a business, only to realize 6 months later that one of them isn't really that passionate about the idea and wants to move on to something else. Partners can be a great thing, especially if they can fill up the skill set. But with every person you bring in, you're slicing up the pie as well.
Yep.
Rarely do you see businesses started by a single founder. The upside is you get to keep all the rewards. The downside is it's going to be a lot more exhausting than you think.
Oh,
No
yeah.
matter which way you're moving
That's what I'm trying to
forward,
figure out my
think
team
of
for all
your
my stuff.
team as a chess set. You want as many of them to be around you when you win, but don't refrain from sacrificing some of them if otherwise you'll end up losing the game altogether.
Oh, yeah. You can't be afraid of. Let me just say preferences right now. When you're having a business starting it, right? Let's say you're off rip. You're starting off with hiring people, right? If they're not doing a good job, don't be afraid to cut them. That's why you don't get your friends involved, because then it's a little bit harder. But doesn't matter who it is. They're not doing their job. Cut them. Just take that loss. It's gonna hurt. Okay, loss should hurt. So, yeah, just remember that. Don't get caught up in the bro. You're supposed to this, though. I'm this. Don't get caught up in that, bro. You got business to run. You got money to make. Leave it at that, bro. If they don't respect you enough to respect your decision, they don't ever respect you at all. So, yeah, that's all I had to say.
Number 4.
You don't need money
You
to start a
don't need
business.
money to start a business. Not even people who actually have a lot of money use their own money to start a business. They
Use that band.
credit. That's a story for another time, but it is worth talking about. You are the business in the beginning. This is one of those things that stops people from starting out. They all think you need a ton of money to get started.
Really don't.
And this is because most people look at the final stage of the company. The part where you have a ton of employees, marketing teams, multiple products, raw materials, and registered intellectual property. But that's not how businesses are started, okay? They start with one person. You, hustling your butt off and growing as the journey progresses.
Yep.
You can start a business with under $100. What you need to understand is that in the beginning, you have a lot of time, and that is your main resource. If you can't convert your time into money through your business, then having an influx of capital is
Isn't
only
gonna
going to
do-
sink that boat.
Yeah,
more
it's not
quickly.
gonna do nothing for you. You're gonna get
Number
debt
5,
that you never
be
even had a
ready
plan
to
of
make
making payments on.
sacrifices.
Yep,
Something
heavy
most
on
people
this.
don't realize when starting a business
Heavy
is
on
the
this.
amount of work and sacrifice that is needed to turn this into a success. Most people start a business because they don't want to work for a boss. They want to be the boss. They despise having to work the
Big
9 to
CEO
5, so they
thing.
do something about it.
Big
It
CEO
doesn't take
thing.
long to realize that instead of working 8 hours a day, you're now working 16 hours a day, every day, including the weekends.
Every
and you
day.
can barely sleep at night because you worry so
Every
much
day.
about the future. Yes, okay, creating a successful company leads to a way better life than you would have had otherwise. But those rewards do not come for free.
At
The
all.
moment you start a business, it needs to become priority number 1
Has
if you
to.
want to have a shot at success.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get better
Your
with that
social
too.
circle is gone. Your family will see you less. It'll take a toll on your health, physical and mental. And that is just the beginning. Number 6. Build smart from
The start.
If
Build
the
smart from the
foundation
start.
of a company is fractured, it doesn't matter how high you plan on going, it is bound to fail. This is something you should definitely consider when starting out.
Good business structure is
A
key.
smart business will check off at least some of the following boxes. 1, it doesn't have a demand ceiling, which means that as you grow, you will always have customers. If you're the only one selling blue hats to a small town, well, at one point you would reach a certain ceiling where sales cannot be increased anymore. People only need one blue hat, and at some point in time you will sell one to every person in that small town. So, no more growth. 2, every part of your business is replaceable, which means the business can survive if one of your future employees or one of your suppliers decides to leave.
Yep.
3, your business can scale. You have a clear plan on how you can increase production as the demand increases. And 4, there's a clear direction for the business. Both you and your employees understand what you're working toward. Number 7, people should free up your time so you can focus on your strengths. Don't be an employee in your own business. Now, one of the most common mistakes that people make is they trade their job for another one, this time within their own company. When you're starting out, you are the first employee. You need to get your hands dirty so you understand
the whole
optimize,
business
and perfect the system. At the previous point, we talked about building a smart business, which means once you have your entire process figured out, break it into smaller, interconnected systems. Then find people onto which you can unload that specific part of the chain. Your employees are here to make sure the engine is running while you're holding onto the steering wheel, getting everyone to the promised land. The founder should be in charge of innovation and business growth. Your job as a founder is to figure out ways that this business can grow so everyone who works for you gets paid. Their
Everyone
job is
eat.
to make sure that they can take the day-to-day so you can focus on your job. In the early stages, you'll feel the need to micromanage everything, but this keeps you away from the most important task you have, which is growth.
Yeah.
Every individual who moves into entrepreneurship has some traits they can use to their advantage. These are your strengths. Identify them and put them to work. Use them to get the biggest return on your time. Number 8. Fail fast and adapt quickly.
Yep, you don't fail, you never
Ready for
learn.
things to not go according to plan.
You don't fail, you never
You
learn.
are a novice at this, so keep in mind there are many things you have yet to learn. There are gonna be plenty of bumps in the road, but if you're serious about this being your life, you need to keep on going. You need to rethink the way you look at failure and what failure actually is for us.
Like actually,
Failure is not achieving your dream life. Everything else is just a part of the game. Think about your journey as gathering data so you can make a more educated decision on the future. 8 out of 10 businesses fail in the first 18 months. This is because 1, they hit a bump so big they decide to call it quits, and 2, they failed to adapt to their newfound reality. A great example of this is Nokia. For those of you who don't know the history of the brand, they used to be a rubber manufacturer before moving into technology. Their rubber factories were struggling, so they adapted to a newfound opportunity. But a few years later, they failed to adapt to the changing environment with the smartphone and almost bankrupted the company. This giant that once dominated the space is now fighting for breadcrumbs left by those willing to fail faster and adapt quicker. This right here is how failing to adapt looks like in real time. Number 9. Long-term success depends on your ability to manage your resources. Life is a lot like a strategy game. You've got several resources at your disposal: your time, your willpower, your ability to work, and maybe some money and some people you know. This is the hand you've been dealt. It's time to make the most of it. Don't complain about not having enough to begin with, okay? Yes, there are other players who've been dealt a better hand, but you have your own story.
This is Otter, the all-in-one restaurant
those
tech
people that are
ecosystem
better and worse
that
than
brings
you.
together all your ordering channels, menus, data sources, and more into one.
But
You have your own journey, and your challenge is to make the most with the resources
Fact.
you have.
everyone got their own
People
journey.
Undervalue time. Time is a resource. We've all been dealt it equally. The best players are those who are strategic with the way they make use of everything they have at their disposal. Number 10. The right mentor is worth 10 years of struggle.
Oh, that's another crazy
They've
one.
walked the
Another
road
crazy
that you're
one.
on right now. They know where the potholes are. They know what's up ahead. And you'd be a fool to not leverage their knowledge on your journey. You need people who inspire you, that have done the things that you're about to do. Analyze them. Study them, Alexers. See what nuggets of gold you can extract from their experiences. If you're lucky enough, serious enough, prove that you're worthy enough. One of them might become your mentor. Think of mentors like power-ups. Things get so much easier when you've got one. But, we also
They can kinda help you, guide you,
challenging it can be
or
to find the right mentor depending on where you live or what your budget looks like. And that's exactly why we decided.
Like, none of this
to
stuff is easy. None of this stuff is easy, but again, it's the work you put in to get where you want to be at.
The ultra wealthy are getting, but at a price that you can actually afford. So many industry experts charge thousands of dollars for just an hour or two of their time. So we paid them on your behalf to produce valuable and actionable courses that are available to you with a subscription to the app. On top of this, we use large-scale academic studies and real-world experience to craft daily coaching sessions for you, the perfect way to kickstart your morning and compound wisdom every single day. And when it comes to how well our app is helping our community reach their goals faster, you don't have to take my word for it. Thousands of people are using the ALUX app to incrementally improve their lives. Number 11. There are no shortcuts to any place worth going.
At all.
Don't try to cheat the game.
No
because it's hard,
shortcut.
okay? We are fascinated by people who jump from business to business, from shiny thing to shiny thing, because they're looking to get rich quick. Even if they settle on a business, they never put in the work. Instead, they spend most of their time looking for shortcuts.
Everyone's trying to find a shortcut, a
The
loophole,
real
man.
value comes from
The only
building a
loopholes are
solid
in this life
foundation
is
and laying
taxes.
brick next to brick
But you gotta own a
until you put your
business.
dream life
Right
together.
off.
And you can easily see this stuff on social media, right? There are so many Instagram profiles with millions of followers which only get a few hundred likes and several comments per post.
Yeah.
People want the cake, but they're not willing to learn the recipe and how to bake one. When others offer them a cardboard cutout of a cake, they will take it because they don't understand what a real cake even is. If you're trying to cheat the game, you're just cheating yourself, okay?
Yup.
Never forget that.
Don't cheat yourself. Never,
Number
never,
12.
never.
Keeping your head down and grinding is what will make or break you. The only thing you're in complete
Heavy on to
control
keep your
over
head down
is
and grind,
yourself.
bro. Heavy
It's
on it.
easy to see some initial results and
You
let it
gotta
go to
stay
your
down
head.
and just
There's a
grind.
difference between winning a battle and winning the war. You should be playing the long game, my friend.
Yup,
Sure,
long game.
celebrate your
Always.
wins when they happen, but the next day, it's back in the trenches.
Back,
Day
yo.
in, day
What?
out,
Hold
until
on.
happen, but the next day, it's
Back
in the
in the
trenches.
trenches.
Day in,
Back in the
day out,
trenches.
until you've achieved the life you started.
Yup.
We can't stress this enough, just how important self-discipline is, especially when you're building a life. Success is the sum of small actions repeated every day for extended periods of time.
Yup.
That's what you need to keep on grinding for. Keep learning, stay
Keep
humble,
learning,
and
stay
keep
humble.
your eyes on that goal.
You have to. You have to know what you want for
Number
real and chase
13.
after. Remember, that's the mission every day you wake
Solve
up.
all of your problems.
Yup. Sell it. Sell it.
Sales
Sell
are
it.
the
Sell it.
gas
Sell it.
to your
Sell it.
machinery. Without it, you're just left with a pile of scrap metal. As a new entrepreneur, it's easy to get sidetracked into marketing, branding, and social media glam. But it doesn't matter how pretty your logo is if you ain't selling shit. Your
Oh.
job is to bring money from the marketplace into your company and use it to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Money makes the world go round, okay? Without it, your business isn't going anywhere. It's shocking to us how many people leave the sales part out of their business for later. They've got no idea how they're going to make money or if people are actually willing to pay. You need better equipment? Get more sales. You need better marketing?
Get more sales.
You need a better accountant?
Get more sales.
so you can afford one.
Y'all.
There are very few problems sales cannot solve in a business, and that is why getting paid should be your number one priority.
Mm-hmm.
Number 14. Raise capital from investors only when you can't do it by yourself. Mark Cuban has a great saying, and it goes something like this. The first time you raise money, that's the first time you lose because you were unable to do it organically. We've got a lot of acquaintances in the technology space, and they all celebrate their funding rounds like they've won. But what did you win? Okay, you just gave away 40% of your company in exchange for a little bit of cash, which you would waste in less than 12 months. Now, don't get us wrong, okay? Having access to capital is amazing, but it's not something that should be your main focus. We know entrepreneurs who spend more time trying to raise money than actually working on their product or business.
To grow it
There
naturally.
are strategic moments when a business can no longer grow or survive without external capital, but this should not be something a new company is dealing with. Do it yourself. Figure it out. Bootstrap and get creative.
And
okay?
that will
It'll
just
teach
get you
a lot
better.
more about business
Yeah.
than anything else.
It'll just
will.
get you better. Like, okay, I had shit. Now I gotta
Number
grind,
15.
get it up.
A business without an end game is headed nowhere. Why are you building this? When do you know that you've made it? What is the goal of the company? What are your personal goals related to this company?
What are they?
Will this company be sold at some point? These are all questions you need to be able to answer even at day one of your business, because it puts everything else into perspective. All of your actions you'll take from this point forward should align with this goal. You need a game plan. Without it, you're just going to be shooting in the dark. A business is where the founder knows what the end game is. Not only to have a better shot at success, but to evolve.
My
further.
end game
It'll take you less
of my
time to
main
get to
business,
wherever it is
money
you're
way
going,
obviously,
because you
give it to
know
my
what to
children, but
measure
then
for and
the
focus
subsidiaries,
all of your energy
that's where
on
I'll sell
checking
off
off
probably.
those
With
boxes.
parts though, I'll still keep
Alright,
half
so
with parts.
these are just some of the things that most aged entrepreneurs would have wanted to know when they were starting out. But at this point, Alexer, we're curious to know, are you planning on starting a business, or do you already have one? Please share some details in the comments
Comment down
section. We'd
below.
love to hear
Comment down
from you.
below.
And as a reward for sticking around all the way to the end, you know you've earned a bonus point. Number 16, don't worry about the legal part in the beginning, because you'll figure it out as you grow. Legal and finance are both important in the long run, absolutely. But to be honest, you don't really need to worry about any of that in the beginning. Think of your early days like a trial period where you get to experience what a business might look like without all of the add-ons. Your number one priority is simply getting that first dollar. You'll know when the business is ready for a complete package, and you'll quickly understand why it's better to form a certain type of company versus another. Alexer, we hope you found this video valuable, and we're so glad you spent some time with
Definitely.
us
Thank
today.
you.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
you back here next time, my friend. Until then, take care.
You do too. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate every single one of you guys that stay and watch to the end. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the love. Yeah. I think the most valuable thing is mentor easily. Mentor easily, because he just help you get so ahead, and then adapting to, and then hiring people. Hiring people is key, because you don't want to have to focus on the actual physical labor of the work. That's why you start a business. You want to be able to be adjustable, expandable, and come in and help when you need to help, but mainly focus on building more connections, getting more clients, and growing the business overall. And the people that work for you are going to work on actually making sure money is getting generated. So I feel like those are key. Comment below what you think is really key. And like I said, are you going to start a business? Do you already have a business? Let me know. Let's start the conversations. Dang, the light, bro. I hate when the light goes out. That makes me look so bad, bro. Like, so bad. But, yeah. Yeah, so, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you know when I upload. Money Team, Tensadongwa, out.